I just wanted to point something out. You have now for your studio,
Yes.
for our studio here.
Our studio in the dungeon here.
In the dungeon, yes. we're going to have to chisel this into the wall.
Right. On the other side,
And on air, what does it say there?
Yeah, someone put it right next to the rock that covers the door.
Right, exactly, right. Ray No. It says Ray No.
Oh, yeah, turn around.
Oh, it says on air. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, and I love the fact that it's got this little device here that there's a little remote that
you can change colors.
Yeah.
It goes through walls.
I wanted to tell a little weird story about that.
Story time.
Story time. It's story time with Mick.
Story time with Mick.
Story time with Mick.
Story time with Mick. Story time with
Having remotes, we were working on Blade, and we did the blood scene. You know, the blood coming down. Coming down in the shower scene. Now let me tell you something. That was a piece of work. I mean, they built the set, and in the meantime, we tested these heads. Basically, they were supposed to be fire sprinkler heads, but we actually had replaced them. We did quite a bit of testing, and we used these heads that you mix dough with.
Huh.
You know that it's when they're industrially mixing bread. You take and you pass air and flour through these heads, and you hit them with water, and it just mixes instantly. It's not like a long process. And these heads are just, they've got machined whirls in them, like like rifling from a gun, that spins and stuff. And boy, they pass some water or whatever you have to be passing through. So we had experiments, and we were running about, I have a feeling that we were running about 5,000 gallons of blood. And
wow.
we had a reclaim system.
How many pints is that?
Yeah, like I know.
We'll leave that to Ned to figure out.
20 to 40,000 pints. We had a reclaim system and a chlorination system.
Okay.
And I mean, it was, and these huge thresh pumps to run it through and run it back across. But it all came out to starting with a light. Because we had these pumps, and the pumps are running, right. And then people have to turn the valves and stuff. And the way that we did it is we just started like this on-air sign that you have right here, and a little remote control.
Right.
And so here I am. I'm standing by the big moment, and we actually tested like this. We tested in the room. We covered everything with plastic in there, and we tested it with camera, with lights. And the first time that we did it, the blood was pretty thick and really dark. And as soon as you turned it on, the camera everything went black.
Oh,
and the cameras couldn't even photograph it.
Wow.
There was so much stuff in the air. My daughter actually almost drowned. She was in the dance scene, and there were a couple of guys that got, they were dancing really close to each other, and it was coming down so fast that it filled up because they were taller than her, and it filled up, and she was knocked out and unconscious.
Oh my God.
She'd almost drowned.
That's crazy.
Between like two other people, right, on the set. Just, it was, boy, that show was just evil from the very beginning. So we tested it. We knew what was going to happen, and we had all the acting in there. And so we're ready. We had the pumps up. Everything is going. And as soon as they said roll, and the sound guy took out his remote control, pushed the button on his control, and it was the same frequency as the one that we had on our light for all the guys out there.
Right.
And all of a sudden, rolling, and it just dumped.
Oh.
And we had to go and we had to clean everybody up. I mean, it was like,
that probably took a while.
Well, it took a while because it was the first time that we see the blood coming down. So that's a problem, because now you have to clean everybody up and you have to put them on in their first non-blooded position. I mean, once everybody's blooded, it doesn't make any difference, and you know, you can roll again and again and again. So yeah, it was every time I see a remote control like that, I go, oh God.
So now we're here in the dungeon. If I turn my on-air light on,
that's right. Yeah, it'll turn your vibrator on. It'll turn your vibrator on. Yeah,
that's not so bad.
Yeah, depends on where it is at the time, don't you think?
If only I had a vibrator.
If only.